there's one question that has been on the mind of all the Delhi walas for the past couple of days, and it is this, that who cleared the 25 crore estimated cloud seeding plan after even the experts said that it wasn't really feasible? Cloud seeding, as you and I both know at this point, has yielded no significant outcome, so far at least. We know it. The scientists at IIT Kanpur, who we brought on this program for you a couple of days ago, they also acknowledged it. But did the Delhi government also know this and still chose to proceed with a 25 crore experiment? Well, which was initially ruled out as non-feasible by different agencies. That's the big thing that we are looking at this hour. Now, what are those figures on your screen? According to a written reply in the Rajya Sabha in December of 2024, the Union Environment Ministry confirmed that all three specialized agencies, the Commission of Air Quality Management, that's CAQM, the Central Pollution Control Board, that is CPCB, and the Indian Meteorological Department, IMD as we know it, all had advised against cloud seeding in Delhi during the winter. The Rajya Sabha reply that you see on your screen over there, accessed by India Today, noted that these agencies had unanimously concluded that cloud seeding was not feasible in Delhi during the cold and dry months. Their reasoning was pretty straightforward. The Delhi's winter skies, dominated by western disturbances, rarely offer the dense, moisture-rich clouds needed for seeding. When clouds do form, they are usually too high or too dry, and any sort of precipitation there that develops often evaporates even before it reaches the ground. That's exactly, remember, what the IT professor, in fact the chairman, told us on what happened, why the first two attempts had failed. The ministry then goes on to note from that same letter that I'm quoting to you from now, that using chemicals such as silver iodide and such conditions will bring negligible benefit when also, while adding environmental uncertainty as well. But despite this being given to the Delhi government in writing, the question is, why did the Delhi government go ahead with it? What happened? Why was it so important to take this estimated 25 crore gamble, an experiment which now we know is on a bit of a pause? Let's bring in all these details and different aspects of the story with my colleagues. Milan joins us with a perspective on what the scientists are saying on this, and also with me is Amit Bharadwaj. Amit Bharadwaj is talking to us about the politics of how this will unfold and how it is in fact already unfolding between the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP. But before I go to both of them, since we reported this story, we reached out to the Delhi government for a reply to try and understand from them that why did you go ahead with it when the evidence was pretty much clear and government bodies were only not one, not two, but three were advising you not to do it. This is what the Delhi government has said in its response. They said that the cloud seeding initiative is still an experimental phase. Now, while the Environment Minister was unavailable for a comment today when we reached out, his office did state that there are different types of cloud seedings, and it remains to be clarified which specific category was the expert opinion really sought on. It also said that the IIT Kanpur, which conducted the initial sorties on 28th of October, is currently undertaking a detailed technical assessment. The officials in the Environment Ministry in Delhi added that the scope and continuation of the project will be decided after IIT's experts complete their evaluation and submit their findings to the government. One can really understand what they're trying to say with this. Let's try and go to our reporters now to get more reactions. Let me go to Milan first. Milan, you've been speaking to some scientists, experts in this matter, who perhaps are all for the first time on the same page. They all seem to agree on the fact that in Delhi, in the current conditions that we have, cloud seeding doesn't really work. Could you explain to us simply, to my perhaps 50-year-old grandmom and 15-year-old niece watching, what exactly does this mean? Why won't it work?
It's just simple because the science does not work in the way politics works. And that is why all the scientists are on the same page. In fact, I also spoke to a former secretary of the Earth Sciences Ministry, Mr. Rajivan, who has said on record that such an idea was also mooted in 2018. Even then, in the winter months, because the air is so dry and the clouds are not such that you can create moisture in them to an extent that it can rain, this is the reason why in winters cloud seeding cannot work, especially in the areas of Delhi NCR where the temperature begins to drop, there is very less precipitation, and there is dry air all around. Plus, the question here that scientists are also asking, just not the science, but why wasn't IMD, which is the foremost authority in the country on weather, not consulted by the IIT Kanpur before going forward with such an experiment? Because this is a confirmation that we have from the Delhi government also. Because it was said that the IIT Kanpur does not need to consult the IMD in this particular regard. Secondly, why was IIT Kanpur the only place that Delhi government went to? Why was IITM Pune not asked for an advice? Because the IITM Pune happens to be the foremost authority on cloud seeding in India, having carried out experiments since 1972 in Maharashtra and other regions where there is drought. So they do this only in pre-monsoon and monsoon time to create more rain so that the farmers don't have a problem and the crops don't face a problem. But for the first time, for pollution, the cloud seeding experiment had to be done either during the monsoon, in which case it is not required at all because there is natural rain.
Yeah.
But in winter, when the air is dry and the weather is suddenly getting colder, you cannot do it because the clouds are not carrying as much moisture. And another reason the scientists told me is that because there was cyclone Monta that was coming in from the Bay of Bengal and there was a deep depression that was somewhere in the Arabian Sea, they thought maybe a western disturbance will bring a cloud or two. But that did not happen, and hence the experiments failed.
In fact, if you look at the details of that letter that we are flashing for our viewers also to see, exactly what they had said, that clouds are too high and too dry. Exactly what the IIT chairman also told us, that that's the reason why it has not been successful in Delhi. So the writing was pretty much there. But let me bring in Amit as well. Amit, the counter to that here is that at least they tried, no? At least the BJP government and the environment minister, Mr. Sirsa, who's been applauded again by, IIT Kanpur's chairman, to say that they at least made an attempt to see if it works. So far, it had not been tried out. These were just experiments on paper. The question, I think, what Aam Aadmi Party is raising is that was it worth a 25 crore budget? Is that worth an experiment? Is that really the heart of the issue here?
Well, Sonal, I think budget is not the problem. If you look at the risk that choking air has in the national capital, near about 2 crore people, children, elderly, those with respiratory issues are actually struggling day by day to breathe in this kind of plummeting air quality. And that is why it was Mr. Arvind Kejriwal back in 2023 who first came up with this idea of cloud seeding to be conducted in the national capital. And it is to be noted for our viewers as well that it was same IIT Kanpur with the same project proposal that was sent to Mr. Kejriwal's government, and his cabinet was on board. They wanted the central government, the Home Ministry, the ATC,
How
and other agencies to come on the board, and more so the Union Environment Ministry to come on board, but they never got the clearance. And obviously, when you are in a position, you will train guns at the party which stop your own policies from getting implemented. Sonal.
All right, Amit, that's fascinating. So the Aam Aadmi Party, which is currently going around telling the people and asking questions on why this was done, were the ones who actually sanctioned it in the first place as well. So really funny how politics plays out, but this time science hasn't really helped our case. And the fact of the matter is that despite all of this, we are still breathing really bad AQI as we speak. The numbers are still in the very poor category. Thank you both, Milan and Amit, for joining us for this very latest report.